India loves a good spectacle. We thrive on drama, on larger-than-life narratives. And what could be grander than the UPSC, the grand circus of Indian bureaucracy? Imagine a stage, vast and imposing. Here, every year, thousands of hopefuls gather, their eyes bright with ambition, their arms laden with textbooks. They are the performers, ready to jump through hoops, walk tightropes of knowledge, and tame the wild beasts of general awareness. The audience? 1 billion strong, watching, judging, whispering about who will rise and who will fall. But behind the velvet curtains and dazzling lights lies a truth as old as time. All is not what it seems. This is not a fair competition, not a level playing field. The UPSC circus, with its veneer of meritocracy, often operates on whispers and winks on who you know and what favors you can call in. It's a game rigged from the start, where the house always wins and the true test is not of merit but of manipulation. Meet Puja Khedkar, a young woman with stars in her eyes and a burning desire to join the esteemed ranks of the Indian Administrative Service, much like the legendary Sardar Patel envisioned. Her story, much like the UPSC itself, is a curious mix of ambition, entitlement, and convenient coincidences, reminiscent of the twists and turns in an Indian epic.
My scores in school were, to put it mildly, unremarkable, like the underdog tales in our Bollywood movies. My teachers often sighed, my classmates giggled, and my parents, well, they simply prayed for a miracle, lighting diyas and offering prayers to the gods.
But Puja had an ace up her sleeve, a sudden and rather opportune disability, much like a twist in a classic Indian folktale. Just before the UPSC exams, a mysterious ailment befell her, rendering her, at least on paper, eligible for the disability quota, akin to a divine intervention in our mythologies. Suddenly, the playing field seemed a little less tilted, the competition a little less daunting, like the tides turning in a Mahabharata battle. And just like that, Puja Khedkar, the girl who couldn't tell a balance sheet from a grocery list, was on her way to conquering the UPSC circus, much like a hero in an Indian saga. In the world of the UPSC, connections are currency, and favors are traded with the same ease as chai at a roadside stall.
Puja, though academically challenged, had something far more valuable, a powerful uncle, a minister no less, with fingers in all the right pies.
Suddenly, doors that were once firmly shut swung open for Puja. Tutors materialized, offering their services for a pittance, while leaked exam papers mysteriously found their way into her hands. The whispers started, of course, spreading like wildfire through the ranks of the other aspirants. Rumors of nepotism, of backroom deals, of a system rotten to its core. But in the grand circus of the UPSC, such whispers rarely reach the ears of those in power. Or if they do, they are conveniently ignored. After all, the show must go on.
Section 4. The Illusion of Merit. When scores take a back seat.
The day of the results arrived, a day of nervous anticipation for some, of quiet confidence for others. When Puja Khedkar's name was announced, not just as a qualifier, but as a top-ranking candidate in the disability quota, a collective gasp ran through the crowd.
Her scores, it turned out, were still abysmal, barely scraping through the minimum requirement. Yet there she was, on the cusp of joining the hallowed halls of the IAS, a testament to the fact that in this circus, merit was a fluid concept, easily molded to fit the narrative.
The irony, of course, was lost on Puja, who beamed at the cameras, attributing her success to hard work and perseverance. The system, however, knew the truth. This was not a victory for meritocracy, but a defeat, a stark reminder that in the game of power and influence, the rules could be bent, broken, and rewritten at will. Section 5. Society's Mirror. Reflections of our values. Puja Khedkar's story is not an isolated incident. It's a symptom of a deeper malaise, a reflection of a society where shortcuts are celebrated and where the ends justify the means.
We applaud the winners, turning a blind eye to the crooked path they may have taken. We whisper about corruption but do little to challenge it, resigned to the belief that this is just how things work. But what does this say about us, about our values?
When we celebrate mediocrity disguised as achievement, when we allow power and influence to trump merit and hard work, we erode the very foundations of a just and equitable society. The UPSC circus, in its absurdity, holds up a mirror to our collective conscience, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truths we'd rather ignore. Section 6. The final act, a call for change. As the curtain falls on another season of the UPSC Circus, one can't help but wonder, is this the grand finale or merely an intermission before the next act of this farcical play?
The answer, as always, lies with us, the audience. We have a choice: to continue to be passive spectators, applauding the charade, or to demand a change, to call for a system that is truly fair, transparent, and accountable.
The UPSC Circus, in its current form, is a mockery of meritocracy, a breeding ground for corruption and nepotism. It's time to dismantle this rigged system, to expose the puppeteers and free the puppets. It's time for a new act, one where merit takes center stage, where hard work triumphs over connections, and where the applause is reserved for those who truly deserve it. The future of India, after all, depends not on the whims of a select few, but on the collective potential of a generation that believes in the power of true and lasting change.